am I too close or am I okay?
I know we gotta figure this out. I had like the worst lighting and then it was the worst audio, but I think you look good.
Okay. You can
That's a
see and
good
hear
spot.
us?
Yes, I think so. Okay, thanks for being here today.
What's
What?
that?
Well, it's Wednesday.
Wellness
Okay,
Wednesday. Here we go.
a few more adjustments. Okay, so I was just saying, I love the topic this week because we're talking all month about like dejunking our environment and we're starting from the inside out. So what is pretty amazing is that your external environment mirrors to you what is going on internally, and vice versa. So if you feel a lot of chaos within, then you create a lot of chaos outside of you. And if there's a lot of chaos outside of you, it creates chaos within. So this week we've been talking all about like cutting the fat, the energetic fat, like cutting the internal chaos to create more calm within and outside of you. So, Amanda, do you have anything to add about that?
Yes, I just love this topic because I feel like I have seen it work like so, oh my God, like I can't even tell you. It has like changed my whole world. So, when we went through our hardest time as a family, our life was literally chaos. I felt crazy inside, as did my husband. And so, like anxiety and just everything felt chaotic. And so,
Yeah.
our outside, our environment, our home, our cars, our office, our finances, like everything was just chaos, right? And so, as
Yeah.
we got our internal environment cleaned up and got our mindset straight and all those kind of things, then our outside started to clear up a little bit and vice versa. So I don't know about you, but I love organization. But as a mom, I've had to like kind of let go of things. Like it's not always going to be organized. And no matter how many times I straighten out organize the pantry or the linen closet, it's always going to be a mess again. So I've had to kind of let go of things like that. But as I do like organize or de-junk things, then it like, oh my gosh, it like brightens up my whole spirit and I feel lighter and more like able to take on more. Like before I felt like I was weighed down by some of the clutter and the chaos. And so as we got rid of that, it like lightened everything up. So it has just like worked miracles in my life.
Yeah, it is for sure a real thing. Like Albert Einstein, I've been learning a lot about energy, and he just says that everything carries a vibrational energy. Everything. And number one is the thoughts that we think.
Mm-hmm.
And we think up to 70,000 thoughts a day. So the quickest way to change your energy is to change your thoughts. And then I loved what he said is that you will match frequencies. So like take an inventory of your life and what it is that you're creating, because your frequency will match to other people's, other relationships, like other opportunities, your your thoughts, everything that like your experiences, they carry an energetic frequency, and it's like they call it your energetic signature.
I
So just
like
like
that.
you would sign your name on a piece of paper, that is your energetic signature, and that is like pulling you into things that matches you or pulling things into you that matches you. So when people say like truly, if there's somebody that you admire and you want to become like what energetic frequency are they at, and what is it that they're doing that is keeping their energy high. So like you can't just say somebody has a super high energetic frequency, because there's too many variables that go into that,
Right.
too many things on a regular basis that are going to go into that. But like it's like an overall average. How is this person like operating? So like yesterday was one of my hardest days to date in my 35 years of life.
Oh.
And I feel like for the time, like, yeah, you got to experience those emotions and feel those things and work them out. But then it's like a slippery slope. You can stay there and you can spiral and you can keep ruminating in the thoughts and the stories, or then you start to pull yourself out and then you start to say, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go move my body and I'm gonna make something, living to eat. And all these things raise your vibe.
Yes.
So the oils that I was kind of talking about on my feed this week is lemongrass and lemon eucalyptus. So do you know much about these oils, Amanda?
Yes, these are my favorites. So when you're trying to de-junk and clear the clutter, these are probably the very best ones on both a like physical, like your house feels cluttered and you just need to like get rid of everything, or also on an energetic level. So it's awesome to diffuse both of these because they're going to help you. Let me just tell you, I have to read this part because I just feel like it is so perfect.
Yeah.
It says lemongrass can also be a powerful tool in cleansing the energy within a home, room, or office space. It encourages individuals with hoarding tendencies to courageously let go of everything they no longer need. So even if you're not like hoarding tendencies, like we tend to hold on to things. So like my daughter, like I don't know about kids, they have the hardest time getting rid of things. Like every little paper they draw on is so significant, every little trinket. And so when we clean my daughter's room, I'll diffuse this. And it's like, I feel like it really helps us like, oh, she can look at it and remember it and then be like, okay, I don't need that anymore, so we can get rid of that. So it just helps on that like energetic level of getting rid of things that no longer serve you. That like attachment to it, but also the energy of the room. Like after we clean her room, she comes home and she's just like, oh, it feels so good in here. Like we've just cleared out all of that energy from the past, right? Yeah, so I love that one. And then lemon eucalyptus is about protective space. So this one says that it purifies the environment and frees up mental and spiritual resources. So I love that because it feels like I said, when you have all this extra baggage, all this stuff around, it just feels like it is taking up your capacity to take on things mentally or spiritually. And so as I would get rid of them, it literally like lifts your spirit and makes you so much like, my mood and mental clarity is so much better.
Oh yeah. And I feel like I am literally like a living, walking, breathing testament of this because I feel like we all of us only have so much time in the day, right? Mm-hmm. So we can't give ourselves more time, but we can give ourselves more energy. Yeah. So it's not about not having enough time. It's, do you have enough energy to complete the task that you need to do? Yeah. And do you have enough space in your being to open up those creative reserves? So if you are focusing on negativity, guilt, shame, frustration, those are sucking your energy reserves. So mm-hmm. if you're in those places, there literally is not a physical way to create goodness when you're in those places. Yeah. And it's just as easy as changing the focus of your mind. So later today I'm doing an interview with the expert, Andrea Giles, and she is a grief and trauma coach. She's amazing. And she was one of my coaches, and she really just helped me to realize the power of the thought. Mm-hmm. And so we hear that all the time, like thoughts are powerful, but no, thoughts are running the show. Yes. Like thoughts is what is going to keep you from your goals or get you to your goals. Thoughts is what is going to create peace and freedom and joy, or the opposite. Like it all begins with the thought. So if we can only give ourselves more energy, if you think of you're only given so much energy in the day, like what is it that you need to do to give yourself more energy? And we know these answers. We did the expert interview with Dan, trainer Dan, and that truly is like, you have to have enough rest. Your body needs enough rest. Your body needs enough water. You need to be eating living foods. Like those things are going to give you energy. But then like emotional energy, what is going to give you the emotional ability to like manage all the things that you're managing? And it seems bizarre to think that an essential oil is going to do that. You're like, how is that going to happen? It's exactly what we're talking about, is the constituents in the oils, but the energy that it carries. So throughout like the last few years through my separation and my divorce, I seriously had to Google emotions. Like I was feeling things that I'm like, I've never felt this before. Oh. Like how do I even describe this feeling? Yeah. And so I would like type it in, like, what is this feeling? And I would start to realize, oh man, that's like hopelessness. Like that's like, you know, these different emotions. And when you are in that place and you are like emitting that energetic field around you, you just attract more of that into your life. And it is so horrible. So it seems crazy that an essential oil can help you do that, but it can. And it's a quick way to shift that.
So here we are. We're back.
What the heck happened? I talked for like.
So where were we?
Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so do you remember what you were talking about?
Yeah, I kept talking forever. Did you did you hear me at all?
No.
Okay.
Like, no.
So I had just remember this quote that talks about how there are two types of tired, and one requires sleep and the other requires peace. And so I just love that because I feel like so many people are like feeling fatigued and drained all the time, and they sleep so much and they're just like frustrated that they always feel tired no matter what supplements they take, no matter what, you know, anything that they're taking, they still feel tired. And I feel like that's an inner peace thing. And when we start working on that inner peace and it starts like raising our vibration, like you were talking about, you don't feel that fatigue like you normally would. And you don't feel like you require 12 hours of sleep and a nap during the day and energy drinks all day long, right? Like it's the inner peace and that those negative energies and the chaos in our environment that is so draining to our energy. So,
and it's like the energetic is way more draining than the physical.
yes.
Like it's
Yes.
like I would feel like I had ran a marathon and then like a triathlon, like so exhausted. And so that even is interesting because then we think, well, then maybe I need to be put on a medication, you know, that's going to help. And that where it gets tricky because it's like that is not helping the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then something else is I've learned a lot about the energies of people and people that you share your space with. And when there is like I don't know, if someone is hiding something or there's things going on and your spirit can feel it, like you don't know it or prove it, you don't know what's going on, but like if there's stuff going on, it's like you can internally know something is not right, and that causes anxiety. And so you think that you have an anxiety issue, but really if you were taken out of that environment or that relationship or that, you know, situation, the anxiety goes away because there's not any longer like secret things going on. So
I felt that huge with our situation. I feel like until things came to light, I had tons of anxiety. And like I said, our home, like our external environment was chaotic. It was a disaster. And I feel like I was so consumed with something I didn't know was going on, you know, like you don't know. And so all of your energy, and it's just like an anxious feeling all the time. So I did have that. And then like the afterwards too, like in the early times, like I would just feel worried all the time, like something bad is going to happen or this is going to not stick, you know, recovery's not going to go well, whatever. And so that was so draining to my energy. Like I was exhausted all the time, no matter how much sleep I would get. And so it's interesting the things that you deal with energetically or in relationships and things, and the difference that it makes on your physical energy, whether it's anxious energy or it's, you know, not any energy, like you just feel so fatigued all the time. That is really interesting.
And I think what, in my experience and in talking to other women, it's like when you're in that space, you start to forget who you are. Like you get so consumed with these feelings and these emotions that you're like, how did I even get to this place? And you start to question like your own sanity and your own like abilities. And so a powerful, powerful practice that one of my therapists had me do was just to write, who am I? Like at my core, who am I? And to stay focused on those things that you know you are. Because you know what you know. When things are confusing and doesn't make sense, like you know what you know. Yeah. So just going back, bringing it back around to the energy, like you pick up on things and they shouldn't be dismissed. Like, those are red flags. When you're feeling those ways, you don't go and mask it with medication. Like, figure it out. Try to figure it out. Why would I be feeling this way? Or what is in my environment that is causing this? And sometimes it's just those simple things, like, yeah, starting to declutter some of your external environment, or starting to clean up your diet, or starting to create movement in the home, or like in your body at the gym. There's these things that can really move energy through and raise your vibration.
Yeah, I love that too. Like, I've noticed who you're around has a huge impact on that. So whether it's coworkers and they are, anxious people, or they are, complainers, or, if you are in a friend group that's all they do when they get together is complain about their husbands or something, like, you're going to pick up on that energy. And honoring your own energy type. Like, I'm such an introvert that when I spend a lot of time alone, like working alone and, doing things like that, I feel so peaceful and like so energized. And so recognizing your different energy types too, like maybe that's something that's, really big for you, is that you are energized by people and you're alone all the time. So with the pandemic, like for instance, when you're working from home, if you're a people person, find ways to be around people, whether it's Zoom or, go for a walk or go to the park where there's just other people. Even if you don't interact, like that energy just brings you up. So I'm the opposite. So I'm energized by being alone. And so that I just feel so much more peaceful when I am with people if I have time to spend alone with myself.
So cool. I saw a quote that I posted last week that said something like, the people that feel like sunshine, stay close to them. Oh. And I just loved it because the sunshine is the very highest vibrational thing on earth. So like you find those people that just feel like sunshine to your soul. Like you just want to be around them. Yes. Like my mom, she is our sunshine. Like she draws people towards her because she is just vibrating at such a high energy. Oh. Anyway, so it's real. It's a real thing. Energy and frequency.
Don't you feel like that with kids too? Like babies, you're just like so drawn to them, and they're just so pure and light, and I love it. Let's talk just a little bit about using your oils, for instance, to set the emotional temperature. So when we are not in a high vibrational state, or we're dealing with a chaotic thing in our life, a situation or something, how can we use our essential oils to set the emotional tone to what we want? So maybe it's not what we want right now. Like, how do we get to there if we're not, like we're living in a chaotic state?
Yeah, I love this topic because, and it doesn't have to mean like there's lots of, like an abusive home, or it's just like because we have 70,000 thoughts a day and interactions with people, like they're not all going to be positive. Yeah. But if there's like a especially big event that takes place in somebody's life that's in your home, and they're carrying like heavy emotions, or even just like a movie that is watched in the home, like these things can like bring you down. So it's just setting that emotional temperature when everyone has been out at school or your jobs or whatever, like bringing it back home and getting everybody kind of balanced out. And before you cut out, Amanda, I was kind of talking about the different ways that we can do that. And I was talking about the stones and like open up your windows, bringing plants into the house. Salt lamps is a good way to do that. And we're going to be talking about how different essential oils can help you to do that. So for me, I'm all about the citrus. Like, I feel like my personality color is like the brights. So I really love, like, I'm drawn to the bright colors. And I feel like the citrus oils, like for them to carry, if they were a color when they were being diffused, they would be like fluorescents. Yeah. So I love anything citrus. I love tangerine, wild orange, citrus bliss. And then I'll put some peppermint in with those also. And that's more like energizing. So any of our citrus oils are going to be really mood elevating. They're really like joyful and playful, like childlike, carefree oils. So I love, like, those are my go-tos in my diffusers.
I love that. That's a big one for me too. And it's so funny my oldest, Peyton, she's going to be 10 on Friday. And she is like getting old enough to where she picks her own diffuser oils. So even at bedtime, she likes lemon in her diffuser. Like,
Oh,
I make her
really?
put like a calming one in there, but she always adds lemon. Like, that's her go-to. She loves the bright, like, citrus stuff too.
Cute.
But I always have to share this one. So when we were going through that hard time with my husband, and like just that hopelessness that you talked about, like that super dark, like how do we ever get out of this feeling? I would diffuse. He was not super into oils, wouldn't let me put them on him. And so I would put our diffuser in our bedroom and I would diffuse lime and Melissa. And those are like, lime is like a zest for life. And then Melissa is just the highest vibrational oil. It's the oil of light. And so I feel like it literally helped us bring light into that dark place and like a will to live again. And so I love to give that one either in like a little roller bottle to people who are struggling, or to diffuse that when you're having just these really dark feelings, low depressive moods. That one is super, super helpful. And then we always love to do our like calming oils before bedtime. And so usually I love to put in the kids' diffusers, I'll put like a serenity or lavender with breathe. And I just feel like it helps them to breathe so well and like calm the mood down. Cause I don't know about you, but at bedtime, they're like their highest, highest energy of the day, I swear.
They get their second wind.
Yeah. So I love that. But then citrus oils in the morning help them, if the kids are having a hard time getting awake and ready to, having a good attitude before they go to school. That's a good one. And I remember this story about one of our doTERRA leaders that her daughter was kind of the same way. She was like, don't touch me with your oils. She was like in that teenage phase where she was like pretty pessimistic, and she would diffuse wild orange every morning. And it just helps. Wild orange is like such a great one that is not only energizing, but it's also calming. Like it's very versatile and so good for the mood. But she would diffuse it every morning. And so one morning she didn't diffuse it, and her daughter like left for school and then came back and was like, can I take this with me? Grabbed the wild orange and took it with her to school. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that, because even if they're not like given into it, they're like, they notice the difference in their mood, right?
Yeah, for sure. And back to that Melissa oil, like I felt like so much, sorry, a call was coming in. I felt like there was a long time that I felt so confused and things weren't making sense and just like confusion. And just putting a drop of Melissa on your thumb and taking it internally, like it brings clarity. It helps you to like stand firm in what you know and who you are. So that one is a good one if you're struggling with, like the whirlwind of emotions, to take that one internally. Like I would give that as a challenge for somebody that's like super struggling. That Melissa brings lots of clarity and clear thinking. It's great.
Yeah, I know we're talking about diffusers and setting the mood in the room, but if you're really struggling with depressive moods or low energy, helplessness, hopelessness, all of those feelings, Melissa is awesome, and frankincense right on the top of the head or the roof of the mouth is so great, and do that multiple times a day. Those two are so great at just bringing the emotions and the mental clarity back to find the hope that you need to carry on.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very good.
Okay, so today you've got Andrea Giles coming on.
Yeah, so we actually have two experts today. We have my friend from Brass Home Interiors, and her name's Melissa. Speaking of Melissa.
Aww.
And she is adorable, but she's going to help us. She's going to give us like some quick ways to like spruce up your entryway and create that feng shui.
Oh,
the clearing the energy in the entryway. So she'll be awesome. She is this afternoon, 12 or 12:30. I'll post something. And then Andrea is 3:30 this afternoon, and she is the grief and trauma coach. And she will be talking about decluttering, getting rid of the negative thought processes. So
awesome.
Stay tuned.
I can't wait.
Yeah, they're going to be great.
Okay, thanks so much. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week for Wellness Wednesday.
Cool, thanks. See you, friend.
See ya.
Great.